find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Newhoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haight deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And the Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
They're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such chopper. He's not just second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry.
And welcome back, of course. It is the Beer League, and we are in the Season 1, Round 5, at the Tsukuba? I can't pronounce this Japanese track here at the moment. But I, being myself, Dean Biggles, and joined tonight by Kendon Sportek. If I got your surname there right, Kendon, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, and yes, you did. Yeah, Sportek, it's, but yeah, doing well. Staying busy, all the fun stuff, enjoying. We're finally getting nice weather where I'm at, which has been real nice, but enjoying it so far.
Nice weather's good. I'm getting into the rainy season as well, too. I didn't have any thunderstorms today. But what we'll have is a very, very exciting track, won't we? It's a small track. Now, drivers are talking about, basically, you're saying it's a glorified go-kart track or something like that. It's 2.8 kilometers, mate. Very, very short.
Yeah, it's kind of like an adult-sized go-kart track. It's a little more aggressive than you'd expect, compared to like a regular sort of go-kart track idea, but not quite as intense as something like Spa or anything like that. The nice thing is it is a very dynamic track. There's never really a point where you can really sort of get into a flow because there's constant changing in what style of corners you have to deal with. There's cambered corners, there's flat corners, there's hairpins, there's fast corner. Like, it's just constantly adjusting to the new corner ahead of you. So it does make it a very interesting and very have to stay on your toes sort of track.
There you go. And there are the championship standings. We've got about 11 of those ones incorrectly. They're just sorting that one out before, because of the drop week, it's caused some sort of issues. So I do apologize for not having all the drivers' point systems in there, but if you'd like to read through those 11 that we have.
Sure. So in first place we have Chris Hannigan. He's got 147 points for the Diabetics, and then Eric Ronenberg in the Sports. There's a name for you, with 126 points. Giovanni Romano, a fellow Canadian there, with the Pit Crew Pirates. He is on 113 points in third. Jay DeVries with High Spirits at 109 points. Austin Tucker with also High Spirits, 102 points in fifth. Brian LeBlanc in sixth place there with Family Planning on 76 points. Adam Klein in seventh with 66 points. Kenneth Ray with the Diabetics is tied with 66 points. Cody Barrett with the Pit Crew Pirates with 59. Alex Cofford with High Spirits, 56 points, and James Hardwick with the Local Yokels with 32 points. Very interesting names there, for sure. And then so in your sort of team standings here, so we have High Spirits in first, currently with 193 points. The Local Yokels with 150 points in second. The Diabetics in third with 149. The Pit Crew Pirates with 143 in fourth. The Spork Sports with 124 in fifth. Family Planning with 121 points in sixth. Snack Attack with 65 in seventh. And the Children of the Corn Liqueur, I'm assuming corn liqueur or corn liquor. I don't know. Liqueur. Okay, I thought so. I was like, yeah. Following it up there. So.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Welcome to the chat. I was first. James was second. PBJ was third. And James, I pronounce it correctly. There's Matthew and Jason Lee says, Scooby-Dooby-Doo. We have about 40, give it or take, drivers, 42, 43 perhaps in this one. Now, the format that we're going to have, if you'd like to go over the format real quick there for everybody watching this evening there.
For sure. So for this week, we have a 2-lap solo qualifying. So everyone will have their 2 laps to get their qualifying time in. Once they have done that, they will be divided fairly equally. Obviously, it's not, 43 is, I don't think, a very even number for them. But it will be divided into 3 heats to set the grid for the main race. So each of those 3 heats will be 3 laps. So we'll get a quick 3-lap sprint 3 times, and then we will have a 50-minute feature race. And then we will have our normal, no damage, random yellow. We're expecting about a 2-stop race just with the limited fuel there. And we will hopefully have some very exciting times going all the way through that.
Excellent. You got through that. Thank you very much. Exactly. So it's a bit of a different format, but it's fun. It is a lot of fun here at the Beer League. And of course, drinking is required. It's mandatory. Whether you're going to be drinking any alcoholic beverages or non-alcoholic beverages, just consuming liquids. That also makes it fun for the drivers because I don't feel you're aware in the previous rounds that we've had before, the drivers are waiting for their interviews at the end. They're generally busting to go to the toilet as well, mate. Because so we kind of just we tease them, we let them wait, and then we eventually bring them in there. And then of course the interviews are generally pretty short because they don't want to get of course just run to the loo or the dunny or the bathroom, you want to call it in your parts of the world. Qualifying is underway. Should be a very short qualifying, you can imagine. Just 3 laps the drivers will get qualifying, and all those times will start coming up on the board there. Any particular driver you'd like to go on board with so we can just run around these laps to give you an idea how difficult this track is?
Well, you know me, I love myself my good old Canadians, but definitely you can stick on board here with Ryan Odian.
Oh, no, we'll go Canadian for you.
Sure.
There we go.
I always love my Canadians.
Matthew.
You gotta love the Canadians.
Matthew
Dupuis. Mateo
Dupuis.
Dupuis. So you kind of have this, it's a very interesting circuit, like right here. So that's a very flat out corner. Like you're not lifting at all coming out of there. And then you have to heavy brake coming into this would be your second hairpin of the lap here. I believe we're coming into turn. That was there we go. There it pops up down below for me. The last hairpin as he makes his way to the final corner. And this one's really tricky because you have to stay in 4th gear while kind of letting it bleed off the throttle and then hammer it down right away. But if you do it too early, you lock up and spin. If you do it too late, you don't make the corner as properly or as well as you should, and you get a terrible exit into turn 1 and down the long straightaway. So it's a very tricky corner. There's this little S's section before you come to your first real cambered hairpin here before you get again back on the throttle. It's a really good passing spot, not here, but coming up right out of this corner as you make this sort of easy left, sort of lazy left into this hairpin is one of the better turning passing spots here, as it's heavy braking. It is easy to go really deep if you miss that braking point, and the braking points on this track are pretty hard to see because it's a lot of walls you have to read and barrels off to the side that you have to utilize, so it does make it a little more difficult. Like that barrel on the left was always my braking point, the random blue barrel in the middle of the haystacks. But yeah, so you can see it goes a little wide. You do get to use a lot of that for that exit curb there, which is kind of nice, but it can be a little tricky.
It can, and that's just like that. So 3 minutes of qualifying, couple of minutes just in change left. Many drivers out on track. We can only show you, give or take, about 31, 32. We'll see on the scoreboard before we run out of room. Just having a look at some of the other drivers. So practically some of the drivers have finished their qualifying, and some of the drivers are still on theirs. Just going to bear with me. As soon as they retire from the session, it flicks the cameras over to another thing. So we'll get an idea on that one. There's the cars pull off to the side of the road. Here's Mr. Wolf, hungry like a wolf. Mr. Ron, as he's finished his qualifying lap as well. Every time, at this point now, we go on board with drivers, we're going to see them just wrap up some of their qualifying times. And you can see that spread, mate. So you're looking at almost a 2-second gap from P1 to P31. How's that? Short track, of course, but that's still pretty impressive.
That's nice and tight. So I mean, obviously, it leads itself to some really great racing that we'll get to enjoy. I like that buffalo on that side of that car there. It's kind of nice. Buffalo Trans and Shake Shack. So there's some pretty solid liveries coming out of here.
Oh, you're going to enjoy these liveries, mate. There are so many of them. There's Wendy's, of course. It keeps Mr. James out there, the boss man, hungry. I don't think this is the reason why James doesn't want to do the beer league. He gets too hungry.
That's fair.
He's busy doing other leagues at the same time, but you got all these food liveries.
Yeah, I'm we had in another league, we had someone use James's face as their livery, and it was fantastic. It was my favorite one.
Oh, let's see if we can get the grid to come up here in a second. There it is. You're not going to have a lot of time to go through this, but you might could just go through the top 12.
Sounds good. So we have Eric Ronenberg in first, Tyler Agostano in second, Corey Barrett third, Josh Freed fourth, Jeremy Castro fifth, Alex Durant sixth, Chris Doden in seventh, Greg Beckman in eighth, Ron Wolf in ninth, Adam Klein in 10th, Chase Ellis in 11th, Joshua Kuhn in 12th there for you. And then we have Christopher Flick in 13th and Mac Verstupen. Is that how to say it? Verstupen?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, perfect. And then Ryan Oldian in 15th there, Ken Ray in 16th, Cody Carter in 17th, Jay DeVries in 18th, Blake Gambrell in 19th, Tanner Klein in 20th, Morgan Otto in 21st, and Giovanni Romano in 22nd.
And the driver's going to get ready to go racing with Eric currently at the moment. This is the split. So they got 22 in our first heat split. Just 3 laps that they'll have to do this track. So we won't too much about the time there. But it will be the 3 laps.
Yeah. 3 laps right here. It'll be quick. You're going to have to make very decisive moves. You can't with only 3 laps, you can't really hang back and wait. You gotta really make those moves, which can definitely end with a few spinnies.
Spinnies.
A couple of little spinnies.
Just do not spill your drinks, boys. That's the most important thing.
I got my apple juice.
So we're going to get ready to go racing on pace car, thankfully. This is just to allow us actually, we get a little bit more time there to go through the whole grid positions. As courtesy of the league, they're doing that, so it gives time too for the drivers to all load in correctly. And as that pace car peels away, we're going to get ready for some green light racing. It is about to peel away. So over to you, Kendon, to call the race start of the Heat 1.
As we do make our way down towards, and the lights are out, and we are off as they are heading on. Ronenberg holding on to P1. Agostano really trying to put him under pressure coming into this first turn. This hairpin is really tight, and it is really sketchy. If you get a little loose, you can cause a whole lot of chaos, as it looks like there was a little bit going on behind them here, as there's a couple people introducing themselves into those hay bales. That looks like a lost wing or two, as they make their way in through these little S's into another hairpin there, as they make their way back out. Not the start it looked like for a couple of guys there. Losing your back wing, not ideal, as it looks like Ken Ray has made up quite a few positions, being able to get himself, he is up 9 spots already as he makes his way through the final hairpin before the long straightaway. And this is really an important straightaway. If you're able to really get up close to that car ahead of you, you can kind of force them to make a choice as to what direction they're going to go and be able to capitalize it coming out of the final corner into the next long straightaway towards turn 1, which is also a very great spot to pass people. And so Eric Ronenberg still holding on to P1. He has created a little bit of a gap for himself, about 2 seconds now, as Barrett makes the move on the inside of Freed in that nice little pit crew Pirates. Kind of looks like the who are they? The Tampa Bay Pirates logos and color scheme with the silver and black. As ooh, I don't know who just went flying off, but it looks like Kuhn, unfortunately having himself an incident, and I believe, that's Kuhn there, Joshua Kuhn. That's going to drop him down very, very quickly down the order there. As it looks like he is going to drop to the very back. Not the style of race you want there, as you get a little close there. The Kraken and the Reese's Pieces as they come side by side, a little door banging before they make their way heading down towards this final corner. Like I said, a very, very tricky corner because you kind of have to brake, but also don't want to brake too much because you really want to be able to carry as much speed as you can coming out of that final corner, so you get a really, really good exit and great straight line speed coming into turn 1, because it is a fantastic spot to be able to make an overtake there.
And a bit of argy-barginess, of course, in the first couple of laps. It's just, remember, it's coming up at the moment for our final lap of our heat race, so... And drivers will risk it for the biscuit, certainly. Remember, there are it's fast repairs, immediate repairs, so you don't have to worry about it if you ding up the car a little bit. It's repaired in almost an instant. But now it's coming down, as you said. Look at the track map at the moment. No problems there for Eric. Way, way, way up the road there, but really, this is where the opportunity is going to be here for that podium position, at least in this heat.
Yeah, this is your big duel for second and third here, as you've got Barrett and Freed holding on to those final 2 spots, but Castro is right up on that rear bumper, as same with Wolf. Both of them really pushing, trying to get there, and this exit's going to be everything. Because it looks like, Ronenberg is going to get the win, and then Barrett and Freed are going to come in 2 and 3. And he did apparently... Whoa, gee. Well, that's a way to finish a race, I guess.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to stop so you can reset your car. So there's it's one way to stop.
Alex Coffert there says, I hope everybody wins. You'll win if you well, you can survive this because you don't have to worry about repairs. Everybody will be a winner this evening on this great track.
I thought that name looked familiar. Yeah, so Joshua Kuhn, he was actually in the oval series I was casting. I thought the name looked familiar, but I couldn't place it. That makes sense.
And the results should be coming up for you in a second.
Oh, we've already hopped over to second.
Yes.
But here are the results here. So Eric Ronenberg in P1 with the win. Cody Barrett behind him in second. Josh Freed in third. Ron Wolf in fourth. Jeremy Castro fifth. Jay DeVries in sixth. Adam Klein in seventh. Tyler Augustano in eighth. Chase Ellis in ninth. Chris Doden in 10th. Greg Beckman in 11th. Mac Verstappen. That is a tricky name to have to say. I'm assuming it's kind of a play on Max Verstappen, but who knows? Christopher Flick in 13th. Alex Durant in 14th. Ryan Oldani in 15th. And Morgan Otto in 16th. And Ken Ray in 17th. Blake Gambrell finishing 18th. Cody Cardner in 19th. Joshua Kuhn in 20th. And Tanner Klein in 21st.
Good job. Got through that. And now, once again, this is the second heat currently at the moment. And John Coombs will be lining up against the Tyler. And look at that. At the moment, some drivers are very, very eager to get going, but no green just yet. As the pace car will just peel around the pit lane entrance in a second, and then you're going to get ready for that Heat 2 race.
This is so another 21 in this race, so maybe they only have 2 heats? They only had 40.
Yes, you might be right. They probably have split it up into the 2, considering that one. So see how this pans out. Blimp view, and here we go. Green in a second. There it is.
There it is, yeah, and Combs got himself a fantastic start, really. I mean, it's super smart. Get out of the way and not have to deal with the carnage going 4 wide behind him as they go through turn 1 there into turn 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's very fast selection as it looks like a front bumper is missing and then appeared back on very quickly as we make our way through on into turn 7 here before a nice little rounded turn 8. And then head towards a soft left in turn 9 before the very intensive turns 10 and 11. It's funny that this is 2 corners instead of just 1 corner before heading all the way down to turn 12 along this far straightaway as Combs. His lead not quite as high as it was to start the race. They are now within about 5-6 tenths of a second here with it looks like Tucker being slowly caught by Klink. Right behind him, although Tucker seems to be really catching Combs there, as it looks like we do have Clayton getting a little dicey as we go 3 wide here. That's going to be a little interesting. I mean, it might help him make the corner there. It looks like it did a little bit. The McDonald's car being able to sort of ride that the car on his inside there and make that one work.
That's a bit of bumper carring, pushing him out wide there, saying not on my watch there as the McDonald's beast goes around there, keeping it a bit happy there, James, as your McDonald's there in the chat.
Who doesn't love McDonald's? A good old, or sorry, it's Macca's?
Oh, it's going around. Yeah, Macca's in Australia. Yeah, mate.
Macca's. There you go. Watching a lot of Aussie rules football, so I keep hearing Australian all the time.
Hey, we just had the rugby league, basically State of Origin, which is our all-star game, game 1. And Queensland won, mate. Queensland versus New South Wales, and that one state by state.
There you go. Played in my very first Aussie rules football game, and as Brian LeBlanc gets a little spicy. Just couldn't handle it. They couldn't deal with the Canadian, so they sent him into the wall.
Yeah. Just like that. That's the final. We should be on the final lap. That's how quick it goes.
We are. Yeah, it's very fast as we make our way into turn 5-6. This kind of double corner. I don't know why it's not just one corner, but it's not. They don't count it as one. They also don't count the final hairpin as one turn. It is 2, which is interesting. But it looks like Combs is built himself a nice solid lead in the front 3. Kind of have a solid spacing between them, as it looks like Tucker's starting to try and make a move to get up into P1, but he is going to be about a second back. And we can see Jordan here. Graham Jordan trying to make his way. Robert Baylock, and I believe that is Jason Lee, I believe. Both pushing ahead, trying to get their way, but it is John Combs who is going to come home and take the checkered flag, with Tucker right behind him and Carlton finishing off the top 3.
I was wondering who gets last, but the race is right across the line.
There goes a
close.
tire. Someone's tire went flying. Yeah, we saw that actually in the Indy 500. Tire went flying into the fence there.
Only the car got caught in that one, because if you just did it a second or so later, it would have been straight into that grandstand, and that would have been
it was a
horrible.
Very interesting
for a sport that had a sellout capacity crowd as well too. So of course the popularity of IndyCar is very, very good. Yeah, you don't want to be tarnished by a stray tire.
Nope.
That's we all know it, and that's the Heat 2 results that should be coming up there in a second.
All right, so we did have John Combs finishing in first, with Austin Tucker second, Tyler Carlton in third, Brooks Clayton in fourth, Evan Campbell in fifth, Jason Lee in sixth, Robert Baylock in seventh, Graham Jordan in eighth, Mateo Dubois in ninth, Jonathan Lane, Todd Matt in 10th, and Todd Metal in 11th, Carson Catlin in 12th, Joshua Keith in 13th, Daniel Nace in 14th, Chris Hannigan in 15th, Brian LeBlanc in 16th, Adam Mailot in 17th.
Yep, I'm switching the page.
Nathan Cookingham, there's a name for you, in 18th, Alex Cofford in 19th, and Alexander Klink in 20th.
And just real quick, the grid. Not going to have a lot of time on this one, but there you can just read out the 10.
Eric Ronenberg in first, John Combs in second, Cody Barrett in third, Austin Tucker in fourth, Josh Freed fifth, Tyler Carlton sixth, Ron Wolf seventh, Brooks Clayton eighth, Jeremy Castro in ninth, Evan Campbell in 10th, Jay DeVries in 11th, and Jason Lee in 12th. Got it.
Yep, it's just in time. It's the B-League, mate. They don't mess around in this league.
No.
Especially is get it going and get it cranking, and over to you, mate. This is the main feature race now starting.
So we will have 100 laps. As you can see, Ronenberg has made his way up and to the front. He does have Josh Combs on his inside as he tries to make the move going around turn 1, as turn 2 there, as he is able to hold on to that lead. Tucker looking to try and make a move up on Combs as well as they make their way through. We've got a few kind of battles all brewing all over the place here, and it is 100 laps is expected of this race.
It's 50 minutes, mate. Sorry.
50 minutes, about 100 laps.
Yeah.
Should be pretty close, actually. Maybe?
You're right.
Maybe a little less. I don't know, about either way, 50 minutes of this we do have, so there is lots of time to make up spaces. And of course, a lot of cars. We do have 42 cars currently on track, although 41 seems to be not moving a whole lot. It's a little unfortunately for him. It looks like he's having a little bit of trouble back there, as he is now dropped into 42. That looks like Alexander Eklenk. But a couple of fantastic starts, as it does look like we did have Matthew Dubois has moved up 6 spots, as has Chase Ellis. They've moved up to 11th and 12th as they were dueling it out, but Ronenberg has held on to this lead from the get-go. He is holding on to P1 as they make their way through turn 1 and 2. About a 5/10 second lead as he has dipped into the 104s coming around this track. Very, very, very fast.
Wow.
That's really quick. got all the way from 104 down to about, so far, 120s, 115s. So flying lap out of him as he does make his way through. We have a couple, nice looking, little spin there as that is Max Verstappen, as he is unfortunately getting himself a little loose. Coming out that corner there as he stays to the outside. This is a hard corner to take, really not having that outside-inside line, as it is a very tight hairpin turn to have to make there as we look at a nice pack little form here. And a good chance this ends up going 3 wide, as it looks like Beckman might try and make a move here. He is going to... Nope. No, he is not. He is. He's not. Nope. He did not make it past him there.
Trying to give it a shot.
He's trying. He's really trying to make that move inside here. He does not want to let it go, as Cawford has made some move on Verstappen, as we do watch Ron Wolf go around and collect about 4 cars there. This reminds me very much of when I was a kid and would go back to where I'm originally from, and we would watch the Crash to Pass, where in order to pass a car, you had to give them a little bump.
Really?
Although, it was fantastic.
Heard of that.
It was basically a giant oval race, short track, I guess. And yeah, to pass anyone, you actually had to hit them in some capacity. So some hits were pretty light. You just kind of gave them a little rub as you went by, and some got pretty ugly. Just depended.
Oh, there you go.
But it did make for entertaining.
Pass?
Yeah, Crash to Pass. It was a lot of fun. We also had the mud bogs. It was great times.
And that's who's lapping up here? Is it Tucker and Corey? Here we go, side by side. You got the Bailey's machine versus
Bailey's and the Kraken.
The Kraken releasing the Kraken against the Baileys. The Baileys have got it. There's Austin, gained that 1 place. Currently sitting in the P3, but that action's still brewing, of course, a little bit further down the road where we had this. And as you can see, I don't even know where the racing line was for that Jonathan Lane. I think it was there. There he is.
Yeah, that is not the racing line. I can tell you the wall is not the ideal place to go, as we can see some of the front runners starting to get collected a little bit more. As we have
McDonald's and Snickers and McDonald's, and there's your Kraken.
Does that say? Yeah, it does. Okay, I read the back of that right. Yep. Okay, so I mean, to be fair, I will give it, Kraken and McDonald's does taste really well together. Kraken's a fantastic rum, so why not? As you can see some fun duels, as that York Peppermint Patties as well up ahead, as they're all trying to get past the York Peppermint Patties and Reese's cars. That seems like a very not tasty mix. I don't know. Peanut butter mint doesn't really sound great.
You mean talking about Alex's car here? That's a vodka.
No, the silver car ahead of him is the York Peppermint Patties.
Oh, the York Peppermint Patty. Well, that's not quite ahead. They're all over the place here at the moment.
I said,
Is that David?
I believe, David Nace there. Yeah, the 246, is a York Peppermint Patty car.
Wow.
That minty flavor, fantastic, but I figured if he got 2 in as he gets drilled in the back by Chase Ellis, I mean, brings new meaning to bump and run, I guess. This is they're taking the NASCAR approach to this race. Just give him a little rub in his racing and push him out of your way if you need to. Of the New Holland there. Fantastic tractor brand, though.
It is? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, New Holland is a very popular tractor. I believe they are... I gotta remember now. I used to play a lot of Farming Simulator. So yeah, they're actually American. New Holland is. So they're the competitor to John Deere in America.
There is a John Deere machine out here on the track. I haven't spotted it yet. Of course, we have a lot of drivers, but there definitely is a John Deere machine. It's been in the wars a little bit earlier, as there's somebody else in the wars. There's just off the racing loads, drivers has to sit there and watch all these cars go by. And
I mean,
there it is.
That'll help you turn around. That'll help you get going again.
Wasn't his fault. Robert did stay in his position. He's probably got a chance there to have a sip of a couple of drinks there and just waiting to see whether or not anybody's going to knock the drink out of his hand, which they did at that point eventually. So 43 minutes still remaining in this race. Lots of action.
This strongly reminds me of the Mario Kart drinking game in that sense. The only difference being obviously during this you're drinking the whole time, whereas Mario Kart you're not allowed to drink and drive, so you have to stop and you have to finish your drink before you finish the race.
Ooh,
very entertaining. Oh, great way to play it.
I've done that.
Twisted Trunk. I don't know what's Twisted Trunk. Never heard of that. But
Well, you ding your trunk up and it'll get twisted.
I guess so.
Here we are, and 40, still, as I said, plenty of time to go. We'll see if we get a recap very soon, but it started to spread. I'm quite surprised. Look at that track map.
Yeah,
That's
it
dots
is
everywhere. I was like talking to James. It looks like your children's room full of Lego all over the floor, and they haven't picked it up. As
And it looks like,
Nathan's had a moment.
Ronenberg and Combs are staying very close together. That 1 and 2 there. Very, very tight race so far.
I wonder if this has caused hiccups of anybody else. Nathan's has gone off, and does he?
Ooh.
And that was lucky. I wonder if he was trying at some point to go, you know what, if I'm going straight into this fence, I'm taking somebody with me.
I mean, it seems like it. At least half the field seems to, if I'm going,
Reese's
I'm
machine
taking.
stuck there too. Can they get around?
And he manages. Everyone seems to have gotten clear by. I like the student driver.
Jeremy.
Please be patient. That's pretty solid. And yeah, as Jeremy Castro has got himself turned around. If I'm him, it's pop it in the first gear, floor it forwards, and try and pull a Yui here.
A Yui?
Or just
I thought that was Australian. A Yui.
a Yui.
I guess it's not.
Something I've always heard. Well, it's the more political term of, and politically correct term of what I would normally say, but Yui, yeah, we'll go with it. As the Shake Shack here, I like his back off or get diabetes. The classic meme there. As you can see him trying to catch up with Cofford in for 15th there, both driving that nice little Audi cars. Like how the Audi looks. As you can see now, Verstappen trying to make his way past the Kraken in that 100 grand, though the way that earlier spill heading himself into the walls is he's going to catch the grass here, and I don't think he's feeling like 100 grand after that, as he's going to lose a bunch of time and a couple of positions there.
It's fantastic racing, as you'd expect to see here. Just trying to get my microphone to go a little bit louder here for everybody.
Looks like Tucker has entered the pits here. So Austin, I believe that's Austin Tucker, has made his way into pits, and it looks like also Jay DeVries. Yeah, I think Jay DeVries has also gone into the pits. But for sure, Austin Tucker is in the pits getting himself refueled. We do expect about 2 pit stops with this, so it seems a little early to have done a pit stop, but... Oh, as Verstappen makes contact with Chris Doden. This is a very, I love the no damage because it allows this to not really affect your car, but wow. It's if this was a safety rating, a lot of people would be losing some ratings right now.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the beer league, of course. You don't have to worry too much about the safety ratings. But the thing is, too, with a pit stop, do you gamble on the fact that you're going to have at some point it will be a safety car. So at one point the pace car comes out, you can do your pit stops at that point or not. Be the question, 39 minutes or so. The pace, it does come out with a certain time towards the end of a race. It won't come out now. It's a little too early.
Yeah, I mean, it would all kind of depend on how certain you are of when that pit stop is going to come out. Because if you go in and unfortunately the pit stop happens right as you get out, then you lose any advantage you could have had. So it is kind of a gamble, but I guess doing it a little earlier allows you to push towards more when that safety car is more likely to come out, and then you can refill, have a nice little splash and dash before without losing too much time with that, because everyone else will have to pit at some point as well, most likely not under safety car.
Here's Mr. Hungry Like a Wolf there, Ron. Is the Ronster. He's just got the overtake done on Chris, so there it is. He slots himself up, and also at the pit stops too, mate. You gotta look at that track map. You don't want to come out and clear an error anywhere at all. As
no.
Well, Jay goes in. Jay goes into pit road. From unless that's a mistake. No, he's definitely in the pit road. So Jay. He's in there for a little
JPBroadcasting,
bit.
I mean,
See him there.
he's gonna hold. I guess he might come out right behind this lead, this next pack that's passing him here, or he's gonna come out right in the middle of it, and that's kind of unfortunate. As we can see LeBlanc here dealing with Ray and Romano. I believe that's Ray and Romano and LeBlanc all kind of having a little dips-doodling around each other. As we hop back over with Tyler Agostano.
Kentucky Derby, but we're not in here. It's the Tokyo Drift here, but in Japan, a little bit north of Tokyo. I have to say, I'm guessing it's north of Tokyo. Most places are.
That's fair. It's
That's contact.
It's about
Bryant.
Right, yeah, and the Smash
Smash
Burger
Burger.
getting a little smashed. Yep.
Now, you have Smash Burger in the States? I guess you do. I mean, I have it here in Panama. I've seen it. I didn't know it was a brand from the States. Oh, ho, 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 ho.
That was a nice hook there on that car. I honestly, I think I have one Smash Burger in where I am, but I'm in Canada, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I know we don't get many
I'm
of
surprised that nobody's out there with the best burger place in town, In-N-Out Burger. Come on, guys. That's the one that I always go to immediately from the States, if you're lucky to be in one of the states that has In-N-Out Burger, because, of course, it's not everywhere. Yeah,
Oh, no, we got a Carl. I was
Do you
gonna
have
say,
one up in? You don't have one
No,
up
we
in
have a
Canada, either.
Carl's. We have a Carl's Jr.
Carl's
That's
Jr.
what we have.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm mad at them, so I'm never eating there again.
Really? Okay.
As
Fair enough.
The Carl's Jr. that we now have got put in where Arby's was, and Arby's was like my favorite thing, and there's only one Arby's and it's nowhere near me anymore, so we're mad at Carl's Jr.
Yeah, I liked... When I first moved to the States, I went to Minnesota, and, of course, Arby's. Loved it.
So good.
Yeah, we need an Arby's car out there too, guys. Come on. You're going to have food
there should-
deliveries.
Yeah, one of our Canadians needs to be rocking that the Tim Hortons. Get a nice Timmy's going.
Never had Tim Hortons. It's turned into a food cast again, hasn't it? About all these fast food places that you can locate yourself around the world, including in Canada. I can't tell you about Australia. I haven't been back. I'll tell you a little bit later. We have like pies and sausage roll joints, and then we have, the McDonald's and all the typical stuff. But that's right, Red Rooster is a popular one in Australia, which is like a chicken, roasted chicken kind of place. Red Rooster.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I guess, no, okay, fair. And sorry, McDonald's, don't you mean Macca's?
Macca's, yeah, because Macca's. some of the signs actually in Australia actually have a Macca's written on it.
Because from watching like AFL, in the ads when I'm watching, they'll have like the whatever ads and stuff, and for McDonald's they actually call it Macca's. And I was like, this is so weird. I know what you're talking about, but it's so odd. As you
I
can
think
see,
they got
Barrett,
the
it's now
trademark
into the
and all that sort of jazz. Believe it or not, in Queensland, in my state, they what's it called, the Whopper? What's the
Burger King?
Burger King. Yeah, some company had Burger King registered already in that state, so they had to change the name to Hungry Jack's for that. Believe it or not. Yeah,
It's actually-
as
it
big
was
as
a-
the company the Burger King is, some little tiny burger place in Australia already had it, and they didn't get brought out or anything either, so they forced
Fair
them to
enough.
change their name.
Actually, that was a big issue in. This is going to sound really weird why I know this, but a big issue in Russia post the Soviet Union collapse.
With what the...
Names of like these bigger companies
okay.
being just taken because they could,
Yep.
and they weren't registered in Russia yet, so they had to either buy the person out of that name or just go with a new one. So yeah, that was actually a problem.
Idea. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, hey, you got to make money somehow.
yeah, and then of course it's easier for the company just to buy it from you if it's a reasonable price if you're selling it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like all the domain names back in the day too. You know, I had some friends who've got some pretty damn good domain names and sold them for some pretty damn good prices too.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
It doesn't matter anymore because everybody's got social media. Just click on a link and go straight to it. Probably didn't even know the webpage you're even on anymore. But we do know
Half the
the
time.
racetrack that we're on here in Japan. We do know at the moment that Eric is leading this race. So our pit stops have started to come. We're getting 34 minutes, not quite halfway yet.
Yeah, and Combs is sticking close. I mean, he's within 0.5 of us, about a half second back here. So quick as they've
Go back
dropped
and
into
have a look at the
minute.
restart again while we have a second. I'll have to wait for that pace car to peel in. James will murder me if I speed this up a little bit, but we won't not do that. We do have the power buttons of the fast forwards and that sort of jazz. But we'll just have a look. So this is Corey. Currently we're looking at, you'll see him on the track, but they're going to pound their way around the final corner. Onto the main straight. This is the restart for this feature race now as I get the power on. Just trying to see if there was where the action is around. As you can expect a few little pile-ups there, but not too bad, you'd have to say, compared to the heat races. There's nowhere to go here. One of the drivers are around, of course. Now they get to argy-bargy. Where do you go? Off into the track there, over the fence, jump another car if you have to.
Yeah. add the bulldozer power and a little nos and just kick straight through. There you go. As you can see,
is in.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Eric Ronenberg having come on in himself here, allowing Combs and Clayton to get by him.
Oh,
as he's going to. Ooh,
that's a collision.
Mac has got macked up pretty good there as he's as he almost backs into and yep, there you go. That he did find the wall once again.
He's got to wait. It's a tough figure. As you said, just gas it in turn one. Look, he can't just put it in first gear and gas it.
I mean, he could try turning a little more left and then back out and turn right and then go, but it's...
Who was it? Was it... There. Some people decided going into pit road or anything like that. I don't know at this point. There's just so much action on the track.
There's a lot as Macca's car does come in, and then we are on board with Barrett as he is being hunted down by De Vries right behind him here, within about 0.4 of a second coming through this little area here. And it's funny, they actually number these corners very odd. So behind where they are, as the Jack Daniels gets a little close to the Kraken here. It's such a nice sounding car though.
Jack is back. Chuck in some of the drives. That's a bit all, if you're going to be doing the spirits during the race, it is beer league, so probably better to down a couple of beers rather than a couple of spirits. I'm not quite sure you're going to make it to the end of the race if you start swinging them. Pit road's busy with some drivers. Brooks, Todd, and Tyler all head in there. I'm going to start showing you also those pit stops that have been taken as well, my friend, so you get an idea of who's taken them and who hasn't yet.
For sure, because I know there's been a few who have hopped in so far. From what I can sort of see, it looks like, as it's
just the top three at the moment, and a couple of drivers in the mid, 10th and 9th.
Yeah, so nothing too crazy here, but yeah, a few people who still need to hop on in, get themselves a quick pit stop.
Speaking of which, your Canadian driver heads into pit road. 14 positions had gained in that race up to this. But I tell you what, this is amazing. This driver right here, Giovanni, the other Canadian driver, 42 positions gained. Is that a last to first? He still has to take a pit stop, but at the moment, you get a bit of a smile on your face going, I've gained 42 positions. That is a last to first, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, he did start at the back, because I believe he was in Heat 1 and didn't run. So he would have started at the back. That's one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, how much is going to drop? Probably a bit, but it may be inside a... Oh, no, you look at those gaps at the moment, too, for the drivers. What's a pit stop going to cost you around here? 20 stationary, about 10 seconds. I think if I was him, I would gamble for this pace car that might come out soon.
I mean, yeah, I would just... Whoa!
He goes in pit road. So he didn't. He probably doesn't have enough gas. Or tyres to take it in. Probably the gas, I'd say.
At this point, I mean, if you're...
Yeah, they're not taking the tyres. See, the car's not lifted up, so... Busy pit road. And guys, don't collide into each other like Indy. Indianapolis 500.
Oh, that was the... Yeah, casting in NASCAR races and stuff. It's been real fun.
Did the Coca-Cola get on with it? Because it was cancelled on Sunday, right? Because of the rain.
They did. I think they did it on the Monday, if I remember correctly.
I haven't watched the highlights of that yet. I don't really watch the whole thing that much, but I'll watch the highlight. Busy pit road right now.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's starting to run out of fuel, so they're all hopping on in. And it does look like a pretty solid I mean, looks like, yeah, Romano is still in the top 15.
Boss is off to bed,
believe,
JP.
yeah.
Thank you very much, boss man. All right, now the boss is going to bed. Let's crack open that bottle of Jack that you have right here next to me, mate.
Always, yeah.
That's all right.
I guess we're in Japan, so some sake.
Oh, some sake, actually. Absolutely, I love sake. I got a bottle in the house somewhere. No time to get that at the moment. Send my butler to go get it. Chris in the McDonald's machine. Running currently in P25 after taking his pit stop. Look at that. I think everybody's taking their pit stops. As soon as you can see. Down to just
Otto. Yeah, he's the only one I can see there.
Yeah,
there's a couple.
Where is he?
It looks like.
Yeah, here he is. This is the John Deere machine. I should have remembered that. He's blinking a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
There's Morgan.
Yes.
Morgan was keeping us certainly entertained in the first couple of races of the season. He's been keeping it out. He's blinking at the moment, so a little bit of internet connections there with that driver, especially on our end, well, my end to him, hopefully not with the other drivers.
Mm-hmm. Not what you want when you're trying to race and a car in front of you keeps disappearing. It makes it a lot tougher to drive. Definitely tougher to pass.
It's going to be a tough way to pass, as you can see at the moment. Jay and Corey, as well as Tyler. Now, Tyler's just let them all by, was it, with Brooks? Brooks was the one, sorry, my apologies, Tyler. Oh, they were switching everywhere. I think that was a lap car.
I believe so. It looked like it. Yeah.
So he's your Canadian driver. Now, he's come back out in P13, and he's tucked up the gearbox there of LeBlanc. So
only 30 positions up now. Although LeBlanc's up also 20.
Yes.
And Alex Kofard is up 29 spots. It looks like in 9th place there as he moves. Yeah, it looks like he's up about 20 spots as well. There's a lot of big movers in this one. There you go. Yeah, 29, 20, 30. Big movements. Big moving going on. What's interesting is there's not a lot of, there's Josh Freed looks like the only one who's really lost a lot. Maybe Jeremy Castro as well. But for the most part, a lot of, that maybe just getting out of the way, it looks like. Where he was.
I'm going to be careful too. You got the Wendy's machine just like in the background there. Greg.
Yep, and he was,
it's not
looked like he was trying to get out of the way a little bit.
It's, drivers are all over the place at the moment. There's so many on the track map because you got so many lap cars, of course.
Yes, that is also helping. It looks like there's been a little bit more space between Austin Tucker and Eric Ronenberg as they've come through traffic now. It's just feeling a little like Monaco. Hard to get make any real passes on your own group because you can't find who it is you're actually racing anymore.
It's a little bit like Monaco, but 100 million times more exciting.
I mean, the rain helped. The rain helped.
Yeah. Still, that's a glorified go-kart track if you want to speak about one.
Oh, it is so painful to watch.
I generally have, I always say to people, there's always casting here on the JP Broadcasting Network generally. Most of the leagues are going to be casting at the same time that there is a race on, both IndyCar and Formula 1 and so forth. And I generally like, because I can ask people at the moment who've seen the race, like, don't tell me the results, please. Tell me whether or not I should watch the whole race back or the highlights. And of course, even with the little bit of rain that you said, I just watched the highlights back and covered it all. Not recently, I've actually had to watch any races, the full race back, because if it was a really cracker of a race, I would say watch the whole thing, start to end.
Yeah, I mean, Australia, you just had to watch the last 20 laps because it was just straight carnage.
Which are all covered in your race highlights anyway, generally too. So
yeah, exactly. For Monaco, I think it was. I think there was actually Formula One put a YouTube video out talking about the 10 laps that changed the face of Monaco's race. I was like, I don't even have to watch the highlights, just the last 10 laps. That was it. It's like, oh.
Is this a crash into pit road? Let's have a look, Jeremy.
Get an off track or?
Yeah, that's probably just that. Slows down the road, no problems whatsoever. Just caught off from race control, messing with race control.
Mm-hmm. It was a very beautiful entry into pit lane, though. no issues whatsoever.
So here's your McDonald's machine of Chris right there in the mix. Jason, familiar names. And I was just going to see if that was behind him, but it's a lap car. There's Jason.
Jason Lee in the
Right
family
on board.
planning car.
Mm-hmm.
The 21. He looks as I believe in front of him is a lap. No, they are not a lap vehicle. So they have these three are all dueling right now. And a little further ahead, we do have a 22nd, but they do have P1 right behind them. So this could get a little scary for Ronenberg, as he's going to have the McDonald's car manages to keep it on the track. Looked like there was going to be a little bit of an incident there, but they were able to keep it going as he doing a wiggle waggle as his way down the front or the back straight here.
There's Jason. There's Adam. And there's Chris. Give us a Big Mac and fries, please, there, Chris. Can you go through the drive-thru? I do swear, we need, even with the other racing leagues as well, too. Some of these drivers had these liveries, and I was talking the other day to the leagues and stuff, and the James was like, we have to be sponsored by McDonald's, the JPBroadcasting network and stuff, the leagues. We just have to. At
this point, I mean, there's so many of them. So many of these cars have that livery. We have to talk about McDonald's so often. I mean, why not?
Absolutely.
It's the worst they tactics. They get free advertising.
McDonald's got some dad. They've got a little bit of cash. It's not a problem. Throw some into the esports world. Help out the leagues.
I mean, what's his? Bubba Wallace was sponsored by them. Why not get a car sponsored by them in this?
I'll have to reach out and have a yarn to him. See how it pans out.
I like it. Shake Shack and
free Shake Shack. Yeah, there's no Shake Shacks. McDonald's, I'd say, is the best because international audiences remember that we have in leagues across the world. I genuinely guarantee you can even see there's a Big Mac on top of Ken's car here as well. If you're talking about food, looks like a Big Mac.
Well, it kind of does actually. Yeah, I don't know what Shake Shack is known for other than shakes, but it's not really a.
Oh yeah, I remember going to New York and that lining up for it. I was like, yeah, it's okay. It's not really as big as other people were talking about it.
That's fair. Makes sense. But I mean, that burger on top does look good. I could crush a burger right now.
I can't wait. I'm moving back to the city in 15 days actually from now, because where I live out in the middle of the jungle, there is no fast food like this at all. Pizza's the best that I can get. So other than that, make it yourself. And who has time?
Fair enough. That's true.
I don't like cooking for myself. If it's somebody else, like if you're a partner or something, or if you have family and kids and stuff, yes, you make the effort, cook a nice meal and stuff like that. But by yourself, it's not worth the effort.
Nah, I went and just bought a pack of hot dogs. I'll just slap those in the microwave. So I'm good to go. And
Tucker's going in again.
Interesting. So he's
stop, maybe.
Ooh, as we can see Verstappen getting a little out of sorts there, but he does manage to keep it back on track. Although I think he is right behind, our leader there. So it's a good thing he avoided the leader, because that could have been unfortunate.
Now, Austin going in, interesting. I don't think it was Austin's first. It's Austin's second pit stop. Now, this is tricky. Can he get out ahead of the Rhesus machine? Yes, because I got a sensation, a feeling that we're going to have a safety car soon-ish. Sometimes we could have two safety cars, pace cars, in this race toward the end. So, do you think that pit stop is clever there? He's sensing, okay, if one comes in now, he's already got that pit stop done and can just jump essentially 12 cars if they do all scream in the pit road. Depends on how far down the road he is from any Eric Grunberg.
Because looking at it right now, so P1, from what I can see on the map, P1 is not that far behind him here in terms of trying to catch him. I mean, it is a very short track. They are doing... Some of them are now dipping under a minute.
Oh, it's going to hit. I think he wanted a piece of that burger.
I mean, I would.
So
looks tasty.
Yeah, they're going in. Jay's going in. Tyler's going in. Tiger Augusto, the Jay Devises.
Standings update.
Sorry, sir?
I was just reading his front window there. Standings update. Nice. Classic.
So, very, very interesting. And is he going to come out ahead of Ken? Oh, it's going to be side by side.
Battle of the burgers. Who's got the best buns?
I do actually. Look at that. I didn't realize it's on the roof as well. Yeah, we got to get a spot. We get McDonald's because it's worldwide. Come on, McDonald's, get in here. Then again, they're probably not going to be happy to have the other food advertisers in there. So, boys out there, if we do get McDonald's, you're going to have to change. You can put burgers stuff on the car there. But, oh, there it is. There's the caution. It's been called. So, have they called it perfectly there by going in? What's Eric going to do? Everybody's going to have to shoot in, and what they? It's pit road. With 18 minutes to go, you're going to get some fuel for sure. You would be kind of wasting it not to take this opportunity.
You would, yeah, and it's going to come down because, okay, so Tucker is currently P11. P11 is just coming around the first hairpin now, and P1 is coming out of the last hairpin. And of course, with the safety car, you do have to slow down once you reach that safety car. So this could get a little interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a good gamble that some of the drivers were trying it. Now, it didn't go in. Ronenberg did not go in. Look at that, just past the pit road.
Interesting.
So, is he gambling on a second one, perhaps? You got to think, you have enough gas to go to the end of the race right now? I mean, he hasn't been in for the pit road. Last lap he boxed was on lap 17. I'll have to show you guys what the laps are as well, because we just have the time currently up at the moment. So there it is. Not really going to be over 100, but
and
lap 33. So he went on 17. There it is, and he has caught the pace car now.
See, but what I'm thinking, I'm curious about is because he's caught the pace car now, if he's to cause everyone to have to wait, and everyone slows down, the issue is he's gonna come out if he goes in. Like there is a huge amount of lapped cars right behind him that are gonna get waved through at some point.
Yes, exactly. They will get the wave through.
But I'm curious as to what his tactic here is, because it's going to bunch the field up, so it's not like he's going to get a huge amount of a gap behind him that he's able to like slip in and come back out without passing, as he decides to say hi to the safety car here.
Give it a police maneuver. Just swing it to the left there, tap the back, spin the pace car around. Whatever you can.
Just a little pit maneuver. I think you go through it.
Yeah, he's boxing now.
Okay, so I think interesting. Is everyone else boxing? It looks like a couple of people are going to start boxing now, as this looks like we're starting to get some guys on the wave around here.
Let's be careful. I thought we were in slow motion for a second, but I forget we're under the... Now, who was it that you said that just took that pit stop before earlier? That was Austin Tucker, right?
Yes, Tucker, who is in 11th, so he is obviously going to stay out. He's going to gain a couple of spots.
John Coombs also stayed out. Look at this pit road. This second, we should be able to see how busy it is down here.
Oof. Yeah, that's a few people in there.
Look at that. Drag race out of the pit road.
Got a little close there. Okay, so Ronenberg ends up in 5th, so he is going to be a couple spots behind Tucker now.
Yeah, I think that was just a clever play, you'd have to say. And John didn't go in. So the 32 car stop, but everybody else behind him, I'll show you those pit stops too as well, so that we can have an idea of the second pit stops. We assume would be enough to go to the end of the race now with 14 minutes of change, probably a little bit less, of course, because of the fact that we are on the first of our pace cars. We may have a second or not. It is random.
Yeah, I think it was a 1.75 safety car, so there's a chance of a safety car. A second car.
Yes.
There's no guarantee on this one.
So you got to think John's in big trouble here, isn't he? Like, it's going to be a sitting duck.
Yeah, I mean, it seems odd that he didn't take advantage of it. I mean, but maybe he's thinking get a huge lead with a lighter car, a little less fuel load, and then try and slip in. I mean, he needs a 20-second gap. I don't see that happening, but weird things happen.
I can see all these, lap cars going through here at the moment, which is a great thing. I do agree in this league. I love it in the beer league. Of course, it's competitive, but it's fun competitive. It's, don't have to It's not a serious league. The blokes are basically essentially almost in a VC. I say this every week, but they're almost all in a VC at once. Because you can imagine how chaotic that could be. Some of the drivers will obviously probably mute, but they'll all be having a bit of a yarn, especially right now more than anything when they're not driving so much under the pace car. And yeah, having a lot of fun, having some drinks there. You can see some spinneroos. If you get taken out, you know, by accident, of course, with drivers in here, you're not going to get in some of those in-depth arguments that you have in racing leagues, don't you? When you get somebody taps you and you go around in a race, that can get toxic pretty early. It doesn't get toxic here at the beer league.
I was gonna say I don't think they can with how many taps and going around there has been already.
This will be a pace car up for a lap or so, because you can see there's a lot of cars and they really have to start unlapping themselves.
Yeah, you can. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a bit, as you can see. So Ronenberg now somehow moving his way up into 5th, although I think he was always in 5th, now that I think about it. It's a very interesting move by Tucker here. That early pit stop. I'm kind of hoping it was going to come out and taking advantage of it. So we're going to see how this ends up playing out for him. Seems like it could be a pretty solid one.
Oh, sorry, can you repeat the question? I had a fan that started rattling a little bit more and getting noisier and noisier. Sounds like I had to go shut the thing up.
More so, I was just saying, a very interesting tactic. I'm very curious how that's going to work out in the long run, because now, I mean, his tires will be a little bit more worn, but if I remember correctly, I don't think he took tires at all anyway.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's taken tires.
I haven't seen anyone do it, but as they start to get all bunched back up.
We'll go back to those gainers. So just basically imagine every single body has taken that pit stop apart from John in P1. Morgan again has elected not to take a pit stop. He took his pit stop on lap 23, so he could be just enough to go to the end. Look how far the cars stretch down to on the pitches, mate, and look at this great camera angle here. It's just, there's so many cars on the short track that they're covering a third of the track with just cars. A third of a sector, essentially, with just cars, line of stern. You know what's going to happen too. It's going to be survival of the fittest because of everybody bunched up like this again.
Yep.
That's going to get absolutely crazy and fun at the same time. This is where you want to be. This is going to be more scary, I'd have to say, for somebody like Eric here, because he's no longer leading that race as he was at the start, and he has to try to make his way back up through there. We know that once he gets up the road there, I don't think anybody has had a chance to get close enough today, but he's got to cackle apart the cars, you know. He's in P6. There could be a massive pile up behind him. There could be a pile up even ahead of him. Very much possible, of course, in the beer league as the drivers here start to get a little bit more intoxicated as they're allowed to drink and drive in the virtual world. There's the pace car in. Here we go. It's going to get exciting, mate. Hold on tight.
I'm stoked for this final 10 minutes of this. This is going to be entertaining at the very least. As Combs is now, and he's going to take off. He almost hit the tire wall there, actually, coming off that final corner. And this will be kind of where everything happens. Who survives this first corner, first hairpin, and the second hairpin?
Oh, they're getting through.
Oh, there's a little touch, little rubbing and racing there, as it does look like we do have one heading into the pits. It looks like Garo.
Yeah, this is you'd be surprised. This is somebody spinning off in the background. You'd be surprised, but here in the beer league, mate, as it seems that the more intoxicated some of the drivers get, the better they get towards the end of the race. Like, you know, I think everybody's had a chance to cool down and get used to the track a little bit, and the tires. And these race restarts, you don't see some of these massively crazy pile-ups that we see at the start. But here we go. We do have under 9 minutes or so to go at the moment there. John, we suspect that's not going to have enough gasoline to go to the end. We don't know. There's a power slide up there, Austin. Tokyo drifting here in Japan. Did you see that? It was just on the limit.
Very slick. Bailey's is pretty smooth, so he's living up to the name.
Here's our championship leader, Ronenberg. He's trying to get himself back up to the top of the timesheets here at the moment.
Ooh, he's got to be careful, because if that car on that inside ends up spinning, it's going to collect him pretty solidly as well.
It's going to be a risky send at this point with 8 minutes and change as the dogs are going crazy in the neighborhood across the street from me. Dogs are barking because the racing is driving at the moment. There's a tap, a little bit of that course with Alex there to remind him, hey, Alex, I'm here. Alex is like, yep, you're here, mate, but I don't have to let you by. This is a motor race, and we're here to have fun. John still leading this one. Austin Tucker tucked up a little bit behind there, but John's actually managed to get that 2-something second gap up the road. I'm really surprised. He's your Canadian 35 position gainer, the biggest gainers, of course. He made last to first, and after his pit stop down into P8, but doing a solid job. Got a teammate up the road too.
He's made a couple of spots up too. He was in I believe he was at P13 for a little bit after the pit stop. And he's gained a couple spots.
Oh, this is now argy-bargy. Guess he's going to sneak on through, I think, if they make a mistake.
Yeah, he does too. He takes a little bit of a bump there, but he's able to keep it on track, and then I think he's actually going to be able to hold him off and get onto the inside, too, of DeVries.
Job done like that. You can't... Oh, not quite yet.
I was going to say, this is going to be hard to hold it because he's got to take that very, very wide outside line, but he is going to come down this straightaway, getting a little bit of a draft of the DeVries up ahead of him, but he's going to have Barrett very much on his inside. He's going to have that inside line, though. He's going to make contact, gets himself a little squirrely, manages to keep it, though, which is good. But he looks like he loses a spot. He ends up in the grass, and that's really just not going to help you at all. So he is back into P6.
Let's go aboard and have a look at Giovanni's perspective of it here for your 99 Machine Canadian. He can see Giovanni at the moment is just going to have to lift off there. And there's contact!
Oh!
And that's going to come back around. What's happening?
Oh, he manages to keep it, and the teammates now are going to be side by side here. I believe that was Tyler Carlton. Not the style you want to do.
And meanwhile, John is up the road by 2.8 seconds. Is he burning it too much? And we suspect that I don't know if he has enough fuel. He might need a little push across the line towards the end. But look at the gap now.
Yeah, he might. I don't know if he's just played it really, 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 really well, or if he's just gambling and hoping for a second safety car here. Very curious then on how this ends up going.
It's going to be a very late safety car. I'm not quite sure if the rules have changed about that one because we had that last week, and it was to the absolute dying stages of the race, and it got a little confusing, of course. But, that is not so confusing. Some great entertainment here for the Beer League. If you drink and drive, you are allowed in the virtual Beer League world. It makes you go faster, apparently.
I guess so. I'll have to start that for my races. I know it does help, with a little bit of the anxiety of racing.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, calms the nerves down just a little bit, but
that's why, at these restarts, that they're better at, after you see it after the safety car, because their nerves are a little bit more calm. That's just because of racing time they've been doing on top of that. But I don't know. This man is going to pit road now, so he did not have enough gas. And how bunched up are they? He's going to be dropping it like a 1929 stock exchange, unfortunately, of all those cars every single time you're listening to him going zoom, 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 zoom. And you know that is, don't you? That's just positions lost. He's probably happy. He can sit there and have a swig of whatever he's consuming at the moment for beverages.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. That'll drop him very quickly down the order. As Tucker now takes over. Ronenberg's made a couple of spots there. He is up into P4 now, P5 area, as he is dueling it with this little bit of a group here. Trying to chase DeVries for that final podium spot. So it looks like Tucker.
Yeah. They're blocking Ronenberg in here at the moment, isn't it? They're
a little bit, yeah.
Picking on Ronenberg. They're basically communicating each other. They don't let Ronnie up the road, guys. Do not let him up the road. I think it's a long lot taller order right now for Ronnie to catch Tucker in the race lead. Oh, there's a
nice little drift.
Yeah, little Giovanni getting little elbows out. He's like, let's play some ice hockey. here on the.
He's got the 99. That's the good old Gretzky number. So yeah, he's rip-roaring and ready to go. As you can see, Barrett making the move up the inside, and Carlton looking to try and do the same. He is able to prevent the Buffalo's race from getting there.
Yeah, you got to lose me with some of those hockey references, but I just threw the hockey in there, of course, because it's Canada.
Yeah,
But,
Wayne Gretzky is the best hockey player of all time.
Oh, really? Okay.
He's Canadian.
Is it like the Michael Jordan or I think they said Wilt Chamberlain, LeBron James kind of thing?
See, but he's different because it's just you can't. He holds pretty much every statistical record that you could have. Yeah, it's actually kind of insane how many records this guy has.
Still going? Is it?
He's not playing anymore. No.
Okay.
He's retired now. I think he's. How old is he now? I don't even remember.
But he's still around, of course.
Oh yeah, he's 62.
Okay.
He did coach for a bit with Phoenix. It didn't go well. He was not as good of a coach as he was a player.
Some players, cannot be good coaches. Some can. It's just like the draw. There's one. Roddenberg is trying to bring it to Jay for that final podium position here at the moment with about 2 minutes and change left of this race. Jay's got to hold on for dear life. I'd have to say, who are you gonna give your driver a day? There's 12 and 36 positions gained, but probably Alex Wright in P2 because he's in that position.
Yeah, I mean, he's had an absolute fantastic race. 36 positions gained, and he managed to get himself all the way up to P2. Romano would be my second for sure. And the fact that he also gained those 36, but more so from where he gained the 36.
And he was leading at some point, wasn't he, as well?
He did get a lead lap for a few laps there before he had to pit, but Alex has had an absolute fantastic race, getting himself up into P2 there as he's going to go past the former leader as well in Combs.
Has he got time? He does have time to give it a run here and perhaps make it 37 positions gained, but of course we shall see, because here's Alex, there's Tucker. That car right behind Alex is not, that's a lap car, I believe.
Yeah, I believe that's Combs actually.
Yeah.
Our former leader from the last couple laps there.
Yeah, look how far back he dropped, obviously, by not taking that pit stop. That's painful. He's actually in P27. So from P1 to P27, just like that. I think there's a little bit of a squabble. I'm going to have a look at here at Brooks. And, Alan Dante? Or Dante? So, just
Durante?
Durante, that's it. God, jeez, I should know his names. Oh! And that's Chris in the fence. It's going to drop him a place, but he's still okay. Remember, instant fast repairs, so just a bump, and it will polish up. So, 50-something seconds to go. Where are they on the track? I'm trying to spot where they are on the track. You can see the green highlighted there. There's the 1 and 2 up the road. I don't think the 1 and 2 are Tucker and Alex are going to get across that line in time. Maybe they will. No, they will, actually. That'll be the last lap, won't it? There's no way they're going to start another one.
I don't think so. It'll be tight. They actually might get close.
So
they've got this last 20 seconds to get around this last bit. I mean,
that's gonna
it's a 59-second lap. It's possible.
He's got to keep Alex here behind him. So see where the cross stop. No, it's not going to be 10 seconds. There's the start-finishing line. They're coming around a couple of final corners. There's a machine sitting on track, and I'd imagine that's just the driver who wants to sit back, relax, and watch this final corner, final battle action here at the moment. Is it going to be enough, actually? It did hold him off.
No. Yeah, he did battle him off as Cofford goes right into the barrels.
Yeah, this is all the fun shenanigans the driver's going to do right now. Into the Derby as they finish this. The Chrysler just going plowing into that corner at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Look at that. Get your flips on the car. So, of course, bang. Well, did the brakes fail?
Love the tire failures. Oh. The one car disappeared just before he hit him, so rather unfortunate. Didn't get his big explosion.
Trying to find all these drivers that are still driving to see if they get their chance to pin it into the fence, of course. As Robert, is he going to fully send it in here now? Yes, he will. Oh, he just retired before that. Come on, Robert. Stick with it. We want to see your crashes. You get extra points. No, you don't, unfortunately. Okay, but we
bonus.
can show you the results up on the screen now for a feature race, my friend.
All right, so
Back to the front.
yeah, there we go. So Alex Tucker in P1, Alex Cofford in P2, and Jay DeVries are your podium, all three from High Spirits. And then we have Eric Ronenberg in P4, Tyler Augustano in 5, Corey Barrett in 6, Giovanni Romano in 7th, Tyler Carlton in 8, Todd Medol in 9th, Brian LeBlanc in 10th, Ron Wolf in 11th, Ken Ray in 12th, Matthew Dupuis in Dupuis? I don't know. In 13th, Brooks Clayton in 14th, Alex Durant in 15th, Graham Jordan in 16th, Chris Hannigan in 17th, Chris Bowden in 18th, Adam Klein in 19th, Jason Lee 20th, Joshua Keith in 21st, Greg Beckman in 22nd, Mac Verstupen in 23rd, Evan Campbell 24th, Robert Baylock in 25th, Chase Ellis in 26th, John Combs in 27th. And then you have Joshua Kuhn in 28th, Christopher Flick in 29th, Jonathan Lane 30th, Nathan Cookingham in 31st, Daniel Nace in 32nd, Cody Carter in 33rd, Carlson Caitlin in 34th, Tanner Klein 35th, Zach Garrow 36th, Adam Mailhot in 37th, Jeremy Castro 38th, Ryan Olden in 39th, Morgan Otto 40th, Josh Freed 41st, and Blake Gambrell in 42nd.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant race again. Of course, it always produces here at the Beer League. And Japan did not fail. Of course, I think at the moment, before we get some of the drivers in the way, we get some of the drivers in the waiting room. I thought they've probably learnt from in the previous weeks. Before we go for an interview, we got to run to the toilet for a quick break, and they've done that. So, my friend, Mr. Keaton, would you like to bring into the interview room first?
Let's see. So we can bring in Jay DeVries. Start with P3 here.
All right. Jay.
Hello?
Yeah. Did you get a quick toilet break before you've come in the interview room, or are you going to be holding on?
No, I got I got that all taken care of. I took the brief intermission that we had.
All right. Keaton, some questions, of course, there for the man himself.
For sure, yeah. So a very interesting race. How did that one end up feeling for you? Obviously, with that many cars on such a short track, it gets a little spicy. How did it feel trying to run through all of those cars and keep it pointed straight?
Well, we kind of created a lot of work for ourselves in the heat. We went to go qualify and we ended up spinning out, and so I started way back in the heat, but I ended up making up a lot of room there, but probably didn't make a lot of friends. And then, the race was just, we were on a different strategy. We pitted way, way early, hoping that we'd time the caution out right, and it ended up working out for us, and fought through some traffic in the back, but cycled out in the top 3. Looks like it was all High Spirits, all in the top 3 places, so that's it's always good to see.
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic, and yeah, I believe you did take a little bit of an earlier one and utilize the sort of space it gave you to continue on in a sense. So no, it was a fantastic race out of yourself, and yeah, your High Spirits did finish 1, 2, and 3, so fantastic. And fighting off Ronenberg there looked a little close. He was definitely putting a lot of pressure on you. How did you kind of manage that going through the final little bit there?
Yeah, he just put an absolute ton of pressure on me, and he's such a good driver, but in a way that's helpful because I know he's not just going to drive through me as well. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Like I said, he's very quick, but I know he's not going to wreck me. But I knew I didn't have the pace. I ended up in the top 3 based on a strategy, so I just had to cling on to everything I had, and I tried to throw out all the stops and was able to run out the clock.
Well, a fantastic showing, and congratulations on P3.
Thank you.
Would you like to shout out anybody before we let you go there, Jay?
Just Team High Spirits have been doing a good job. We came into this, I think, with like 3 points down or something like that. So we were really hoping for a good, strong finish with our team, and I think that'll put us, where we need to be.
Thank you very much, my friend. Keep up the good work. Keep up the high spirits. There you go. So, you go. We'll talk to your other High Spirits team members right now. So, Keaton, who would like to? We got Austin and Alex in the waiting room.
Yeah, so I'll bring Alex in here. So, Alex, Congratulations on P2 there. How'd that one feel for you?
Hey, back-to-back P2s. It was a good race. It was a fun race. Wish I was P1, but Austin's a little bit too quick, so props to him. But yeah, it was a great race and happy to be up here.
Well, considering you had 36 positions gained in that race, not sure if you really realized that, but 30. How does that feel, getting 36 spots up to get yourself into P2?
Like going through a demolition derby unintentionally. Not even just the amount of cars, but track width in certain places are pretty narrow, and it can bottleneck pretty hard. And so, yeah, there's a couple incidents that I was part of, and some of them that I wasn't proud of. To be honest, sorry to Robert, sorry to Jay. I kind of bumped both of them, but all around, like, really good racing, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun, and yeah, you're definitely putting as much pressure as it looked like you could onto Austin there. Were you thinking about giving him a little nudge to try and swing by, or you just kind of accept that he was going to be faster near the end there?
No, if I was going to do it, I'm just going to like full on not brake for a corner and wreck him out. No, I'm kidding. No, it was maybe in a situation where I'm side by side or something, but I'm not going to move someone out of the way on the last lap just to try to get a win. He's a damn good driver, and if I'm going to get it, I'm going to need to deserve it.
Fantastic. Well, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. I was just going to say you took the pit stop onto the pace car as well. So the 2 pit stops to lap 33, I believe that was there for the pace car.
Yeah.
So everything kind of panned out there. Obviously, surviving all the way through the field.
Yeah. And that's kind of half of it, is trying to time your pit stop to just avoid as many people as you can. Both trying to, we have a random caution and possibly a second. So a lot of people are trying to game the system and find the right time to jump in. Again, just to kind of avoid that chaos, not even talking about straight up pace. So it's difficult, but it leads to some pretty interesting strategies, and it's fun being in Discord and everyone just being like, wait, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And sometimes it works out and you're like, sucker, got you. Sometimes it doesn't, and you're the idiot. And
that's the beauty here of the beer league, of course, is that most of the drivers are in all the one VC as well, to have a bit of a yarn. Did you aware about after that race restart there that John Combs was in the lead of that race, but we kind of suspect he didn't have enough gas to go to the end? Were you aware of that too?
I was about 6.5 beers deep at that point, so I wasn't worried about too many things in life, other than the fact that my bladder is about to explode and I really have to pee. Other than that, it was just driving and like trying to survive both the race and my urinary system.
Exactly. This is definitely a urinary test, of course, for the drivers. Did you go to the bathroom before, or you still have to go to the bathroom now?
No, as soon as crossed the checkered line, I got punted over the wall, like ran to the bathroom, and then jumped in this.
That's what I suspect you guys are doing that now, because you were realizing after we kept you waiting in the waiting room for a very long time. So it's good that we would take it there. Anybody you'd like to shout out to, Alex, before we let you go?
Yeah, my dog Coda Bear for always cheering me on, and you guys for putting on an awesome broadcast, and then just everyone in the beer league. It's always fun to race with you guys.
There you have it. Excellent. Thank you very much there. The P2 there for the pig machine, the vodka machine.
Oh, yeah.
Of Alex. What's the vodka real quick there, mate, before we let you go again?
So it's Alaska Distillery. It's smoked salmon vodka. It's the worst thing on earth. And if you go to Alaska, you have to try it. It tastes just as bad as you would assume. The only reason that so first of all, they make piss poor vodka in the first place, and they're going to go under. So they make this like totally niche thing that, trying to get tourists to do it. So if you ever go to Alaska, go ahead. It's from my hometown. It's absolutely terrible. And then they add terrible flavoring to it, but you have to try it.
Oh, it sounds like I want to try it, because it sounds so bad that, you're like, all right, let's test my taste buds to see what sort of reaction I'm going to have. All right, thank you very much for that, for Alex. We will try that one in the future.
I appreciate it, guys.
It just sounds like getting screeched in Nova Scotia. Or in Newfoundland, sorry.
There you go.
Oh, bad times. All right, I guess we will bring in our winner here with Austin Tucker. Austin, fantastic race. Did you kind of think a safety car was coming around when it did, or because you took a very early second pit stop, and we were curious if that was on purpose?
Well, I took a very early first pit stop, kind of anticipating the caution to come out before my second one. It didn't, so I could have pit one lap later, but if the caution had come out on that lap, on my in lap, then I would have run out. So that's why I pit when I did. I realized how tight my window was after I made my first stop, but it worked out in the end. So
it did.
I'm not complaining.
You took 3 pit stops, more than anybody else in this race. Your last pit stop was on lap 47.
I only took 2 pits.
Oh,
no.
2? Yeah. Oh, it's showing me 3. My apologies. But you took that one really early, as you said, because we were kind of talking about that, weren't we? There.
Yeah, like it was we were kind of having the conversation like, oh, is he planning this? Like, is he hoping that he's going to get a little bit of a jump because everyone else will have to go in and he's already pit? Like, what's going on? And it worked.
I think you timed it. Yeah, you timed it absolutely perfect, mate.
Yeah, that was absolutely planned. I was just working it backwards because the last couple races, the pit stop pretty much came out right as soon as the window for the first pit stop opened. I think 2 of the races so far, I was planning on pitting the lap the caution came out. So I just went as early as I could to steer that off. And it worked out perfectly. A lot of people hadn't pit by the time I took my second pit stop and by the time the caution came out. So, because I didn't have the pace tonight for Eric or for Crawford or for John. But fortunately, strategy was in my favor tonight.
Yeah, you did need the pace because you got the strategy cooked up perfectly. Because Eric was up the road, wasn't he, by a mile? I think Eric was essentially untouchable for most of the drivers.
He was about 3 seconds ahead when I pit my first time. I think 2 seconds ahead after he pit his first stop. But I did need the pace. Hold off Crawford at the end. I thought there was going to be another lap, and I didn't think I was going to be able to hold on. But fortunately, white flag came out when it did.
And you got some great overtakes towards the end as well with that nice battle that was occurring. And what was it? Do you would have to say there that Kendon that he got the Tokyo drift of the day? Do you remember that one, my friend? You were 100% fully drifting out one of those corners. I think it might have been the final corner. It was just like, so I have to go back and check that.
You're saying I did? Yeah.
You did, yeah.
It was like coming to the white flag through the final corner. I just braked and turned a little too much and just had to hold on. Fortunately, I encountered that a few times in practice, so I knew what to do. And with these cars, you just stand on it and it goes straight. But, yeah.
Just gonna have a look.
Yeah, it was
if it's oh, this is Alex. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. You're looking at Austin, not Alex. Sorry.
And I think that the third pit stop you're saying that was on my in lap at the end of the race. I had no incidents, so I was trying to keep it that way.
And this is your overtake because John had, and did you realize at that point too that John was leading that race, but he didn't take that pit stop under that safety car. So
I was aware, so I wasn't going to push. I wasn't going to push too hard on him. There's bonus points for a 0x, so I was just trying to keep it away from other cars. Like I said, I was just trying to keep ahead of the people behind me because I knew John needed to pit.
Well, your pit stop strategy worked brilliantly and kept the High Spirits team in the High Spirits with a complete podium domination. So fantastic work there, Austin. Anybody you'd like to shout out to?
Well, shout out to my High Spirits teammates for completing the podium sweep. We've known it's possible, but of course it's always tough to fight. Chris, Eric, Gio, Tyler, Corey, all tough competitors. But yeah, shout out to Alex and Jay for completing the sweep. Shout out for all the guys in the front. I raced for some very clean racing that I wasn't expecting tonight. I don't know what happened to the rest of the field, but it was great racing up front.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I forgot there at the moment, Ken, because I usually ask the drivers how many drinks you had during the race and what were you drinking. So sorry about the other two drivers. If you post that in the chat there, both Alex and Jay. But what about you, Austin? What were you consuming during this race?
I've got a couple of Highland Brewings out of Asheville, North Carolina, and a Guinness Extra Stout. That was my poison.
That Guinness can knock you around, mate. You got to be careful with that. But
yeah, I've moved on from the extra stouts to just the regular Guinness, but I've got a few left to finish off.
No Baileys, considering it's on the side of your car.
Actually, I have a promise to do a Bailey's Shoey if I win a race, so that's upcoming.
Okay, excellent. Ooh. Yeah. Any questions there for Austin? Well, we'll let Austin Tucker enjoy his race win. 3 positions gained and finished in that top spot there, just holding off Alex, who gained 37 positions in the end there. steal the P2, and Jay, their other teammate, 8 positions gained there. With the 37 machine on the final spot of the podium. So, thank you very much, Austin.
Thank you, Biggles, as always.
Now, so welcome to the beer league there, Kenton. How did you find this, mate?
It was definitely exciting to watch. Lots of fun, and I mean, a few. I think one of them mentioned I think it was Jay said he was about six beers deep. So, or it was either Jay or Alex. Can't remember which one now. I think it might have been actually Alex. But hey, drove pretty well. He got himself a P2 and gained 36, 37 spots. So I guess 6 beers is the magic number.
That's what we were talking about before. Like, I think that they start to relax a little bit more as you get further into it, don't you? And the beers start kicking in. And there it is. So that's the B League for you. And fantastic job for all the drivers, of course. We had 43 drivers on the track and a very, very short track, as you can see there up on the screen. So it was very, very, actually, believe it or not, a very clean race, I'd expected. A lot of people were sort of messaging me and going, Biggles, this is going to be carnage on this track. And I'm like, oh, well, you never know. You never know. But it wasn't that. Just a few little moments, of course, but lots of great wheel-to-wheel driving and overtaking. It's almost like you're in a full-on professional Tier 1 racing league, but without the fun of the beer league, essentially. So it was good. It was absolutely brilliant. Any final words there, mate? You can wrap it up for us. We do have next week's racing as well. Same time, right? Yes. Next week.
So yeah, same time next week, and I believe we are off to. I should remember. Where are we going?
Don't say Detroit.
I'm trying to even remember.
Anybody in the chat know? Please.
I haven't even seen the schedule yet. I haven't been sent a schedule.
We probably should have asked one of the drivers, but yeah. Anyway, mate.
Yeah. It was fantastic driving. Great race from everybody, and yeah, like you said, could have been complete carnage, but was very clean, all things considered. Obviously, we still had our bumps and bruises, but with how this race and how this track runs, could have been much, much worse. So fantastic day out of all of them, and congratulations to our top 3 and high spirits as a team.